Good evening, Mr. Defanelli. This is America Silva, and this is my analysis on international operations. Galatex Incorporated is a telecommunications company attempting to expand its business globally. One of their main concerns should be the cultural, governmental, and ethical standards in different countries. Jed Richardson, their Director of Compliance, is concerned about the double standards in business practices in their international corporations. Galatex has had a code of ethics since 1975, and he has clearly found violations of this code of ethics. For example, in Lima, Peru, he found high commission expenses used to disguise paying kickbacks in exchange of contracts. This is commercial bribery and a clear violation of Galatex code of ethics. In Sweden, he found college students employed with often minimal work to do. Later on, he found out that in Scandinavian countries, it is a tradition to employ children of people important to your business as a way of doing business. In Mumbai, India, he found payments to Indian officials and Indian government in order to speed up contracts such as licenses and utility contracts. The Foreign Corrupt Practices Act was enacted in 1977 to prohibit companies from paying bribes to foreign officials and political figures for the purpose of obtaining business. Facilitating payments or grease payment is a form of bribery used to expedite or facilitate a routine governmental action. Bribery, as defined by the OECD, is the offering, promising, giving, or accepting of any undue pecuniary or other advantage to obtain or retain a business or other improper advantage. Extortion or solicitation is demanding of a bribe. Some of the alternatives in order to prevent corruption within an enterprise is auto-regulation, corporate policies, and disciplinary action. One of the ways a company can auto-regulate themselves is by following the principles enacted by the TI and the ICC. The TI, or Transparency International, is a global civil society organization leading the fight against corruption. The ICC, or International Chamber of Commerce, is the world's business organization, the only representative body that speaks in authority on behalf of enterprises from all sectors all around the world. TI provides the business principles of countering bribery written in 2003. Many leading companies have used this as a benchmark for anti-bribery policies and procedures. The ICC has written the Fighting Corruption, a corporate practices manual, which provides detailed practical guidance from compliance with the ICC Rules of Conduct and the OECD Convention. These two books are just guidelines. They are not the rule of thumb that all corporate companies should use. Corporate policies, on the other hand, is a stepping stone in the fight against corruption within your company. They have to ensure that by using the guidelines provided by the TI and the ICC, they custom make their own policies according to the line of work they use and the type of transactions and market information their employees have on a day-to-day basis. Their corporate policies should provide guidance and training in identifying and avoiding bribery and extortion on the daily business dealings of the enterprise. They should also provide confidential channels to raise concerns, seek advice, and report violations without fear of retaliation. They should provide a self-evaluating tool. They should provide and explain clearly the prohibition of bribery and extortion. They should also make their anti-corruption policies known to all agents and other intermediaries and make it clear that they expect that all activities carried out are in compliance with their policies. The third alternative that is also very important in the fight against corruption within your corporation is disciplinary action. Having the policies are not enough. having sanctions to the violations of those policies, it's necessary in order to have the employees compliant to these policies. They should include disciplinary act procedures to sanction misconduct and apply it to all controlled subsidiaries, foreign and domestic. Again, having policies is not enough. Sanctions should be applied, and they should be in accordance to the type of violation that the employee or high official of management have done. The most important step in the fight against corruption within a company is corporate policies. The company or the enterprise should analyze which specific areas pose the greatest risk for bribery and design and implement a program accordingly. The program should address the most prevalent forms of bribery. For example, political contributions, gifts, traveling expenses, charitable contributions, sponsorships, facilitation, payments. They should ensure that their policies are custom made or are appropriate for the line of work that their employees are in. That they should also analyze the different transactions, the different type of markets that their employees are involved with on a day-to-day basis in order to create effective policies to ensure that they are successful within their company. Another important step in creating policies that companies should ensure of having is that top management should have a commitment, a clear commitment to these policies. They should provide leadership, resources, and active support for management's implementation. Top management, such as the board of directors, should demonstrate visible and active commitment to the implementation of the enterprise program against corruption. The enterprise should make compliance with the program mandatory for directors and apply appropriate sanctions for violations of it. Again, their policies should be implemented according to their line of business. They should be regulated and reviewed to encounter for any possible problems that the employees may encounter or any new problems that have come up with according to the ever-changing business world. Different countries around the world have come together to end corruption and assist in implementing laws to support this movement. The Transparency International is one of them. The ICC, the OECD, and the FBA are among some of the other organizations or laws that are used in fights against corruption. The World Trade Organization, the WTO, the World Bank, and the IMF are other international financial institutions who have also launched important anti-corruption initiatives. The Global Compact Pact in 2004 added working against corruption as one of its 10 principles. Corruption affects everyone, affects the trustworthiness of the company, affects the trade, affects the global market, and affects its employees. Corruption undermines democracy and the rule of law. Corruption distorts national and international trade. Corruption jeopardizes sound governance and ethics in the private sector. Trade should be transparent. Trade should not be based on who pays more, who pays less. Trade should be free of corruption, and therefore any company should make their top priority ending corruption within its enterprise. And the only way to do that is by establishing effective corporate policies to fight corruption.